today they look at TV in a certain way, right? They think about audiences, they think about GRPs, they think about demos. And when you look online, they think in direct response often, right? They think in terms of impressions, they think in terms of they still think in terms of click-through. And what they don't have, what they haven't had is the ability to actually have audience measures that allow them to actually look cross-platform, across both TV and online. I think in terms of identifying measures that are comparable, measures that make sense together, I think the time is now. Nielsen's doing a lot to try to bridge that gap. Obviously we have, Nielsen's been the provider of TV ratings. We've brought to market online campaign ratings and cross-platform campaign ratings. It's great to partner with a company like DG that is able to take our measurements and put it into the workflow for media buyers. In order to really make the analytics work well, both parties need to be able to come to the table and have a discussion about what do you do well in TV that can be applied in online? What do you do well in online that can be applied on TV? The thing that will enable those conversations is having data that is comparable, that is consistent, that everybody can look at together. At Nielsen, the way that we look at measures for advertising effectiveness fall into 3 buckets, right? There's reach, so what's the audience that you're actually getting? There's resonance, so for those that are reached, that are exposed to that advertising, how is it actually influencing them and influencing what they want to do, how they think about a product or a brand? And there's reaction. If they saw the ad, are they actually going out and taking action? Are they buying? The folks that in the industry that want to lead are really pushing the envelope by taking the GRP and figuring out the right ad models, right? And that's both on the media buyer side and the media seller side. I think that's going to just continue. The ways that we can look at reach and cut reach in terms of we're starting with age and gender because that is what will provide comparability across platforms, but then layering in additional dimensions. And from a frequency perspective, I think a lot more can actually be done there to understand how hitting somebody multiple times versus once affects what they're going to do. What happens when that frequency the frequency is coming from reaching them, in multiple ways, right? That person was hit both with TV and online advertising. What does that do ultimately to the effectiveness of the ad? Nielsen focuses on both what consumers watch and consumers buy. So we look at media exposure and we look at things like retail purchase. When we talk to our clients, specifically, big brands and agencies, they're looking for who's been exposed to the given advertising, whether that's video or display, any advertising, right? And they're looking for, okay, have they actually bought the product? Our big TV network clients are looking at the ratings, and we've always provided age and gender, and they increasingly want to see, hey, what were the GRPs, what was the reach for Tide buyers, right? Or for, big consumers of soft drinks. So that's the kind of cut they want. I'm not constrained by location any longer. To me, that's what video convergence is. And I think that advertisers are really now trying to take advantage of that, which is why cross-platform advertising is going to be a really big deal. We're trying to innovate, DG is trying to innovate as well to get there. Ultimately, understanding how well advertising works starts with, hey, who are you actually reaching with your advertising? That's the basic place. Nielsen's brought cross-platform campaign ratings to the market to give that only both view of, it being exposed on TV and being exposed online, and that's helping a lot of different players.